Hey guys, welcome back to ProductNation, and we just attended the Samsung Unpacked event. It was packed by a lot of people and there was a lot of media and press there, and everyone was very excited to see what Samsung has to offer for this next decade of smartphones and everything related to smartphones. So the main announcements were the Samsung S20, the S20 Plus, and the S20 Ultra. Apart from that, they also announced the AirBuds Plus. So let's just jump right in to see all the exciting stuff that came out from today. So notably, the biggest features would be the 108 megapixel on the Samsung S20 Ultra and also the 100 times zoom, plus the 8K recording with 30 plus megapixel stills from the video across all phones, which is crazy. So we're gonna leave the Ultra for the end. We're gonna talk about the S20 Plus and the S20 first. So the S20 series all look really elite and have a very stylish finish to them. They all are fingerprint magnets, but they look very nice, very elegant, especially the back camera module. I'm not a huge fan of that, but they're all like adapting the same sort of look to them. So the S20 regular comes with a triple camera setup, while the S20 Plus comes with a quad camera setup. The S20 Ultra also has a quad camera setup, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So both the S20 and the S20 Plus have similar camera systems, with 64 megapixel being the main, 12 megapixel being the wide, and the 12 megapixel being an ultra wide lens. The S20 Plus also has an additional depth sensor, which is what makes it a quad camera setup. The S20 Plus has a 10 megapixel front-facing camera, so does the S20. Both the S20 and the S20 Plus go in zoom from 0.5 times all the way up to 30 times in hybrid zoom. A really cool feature about this is it gives you a small preview in the corner of the phone that shows you how far you're zoomed in, so you know where you are and not just aimlessly moving your phone from side to side, which is good. So the 8K recording was very exciting because this is probably the first smartphone that's going to support that. And also the fact that you can take 30 plus megapixel stills from these recordings is something that's very exciting for the future of photography. It switches to the 64 megapixel lens to record. So this will be a little bit more zoomed in, as you can see here, but that's what allows you to capture those high resolution pictures once you snap a picture while recording a video or take a still. The S20 is going to have a 4000 milliamp hour battery, while the S20 Plus has a 4500 milliamp hour battery. They've ditched the curved screen design, which was very interesting to see. And a lot of people liked it, a lot of people disliked it. So I'm gonna leave a poll here. Do let me know which one you were, the liking or disliking. I'm very curious to know because I kind of liked it and everyone around me hated it. So when it comes to the weight of the phone, it has a very nice feel to it. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. It feels nice in your hand, which is weird to say out loud. The thickness of the phone is slightly more than the previous phones, and that's probably because of the bigger battery. But it doesn't disturb me that much. It actually feels like a solid phone in your hand and something that's not loose and lightweight, which is good. Next, an additional feature that we already had from before is the live focus video, which is exactly the same, slightly better maybe. And the separation seems to be a lot better since the sensor size is physically bigger on all the lenses on all the phones. So it looks pretty nice to me. Next, we're going to talk about the 120 Hz, which is what a lot of people are excited about on this phone. But when you get it right out of the box, it's not going to be at 120 Hz, it's going to be at 60 Hz. So what you need to do is go into your settings, drop the resolution from Quad HD to 1080p, and then you get the option to enable 120 Hz. The reason for this would be things like saving your battery life and also not putting too much pressure on your processor. So once you do enable the 120 Hz refresh rate, it feels like a totally different phone. Like honestly, it's very difficult to show it on video, but when you see the difference between 60 Hz and 120 Hz, you can actually tell the difference. It gets really, really smooth when you're using 120 Hz. I even shot slow motion on this camera to get a view of how the pixels move, and it's so smooth, you don't see any stuttering, you don't see any jagged behavior. Everything looks very smooth and very crispy, and it looks very, very good. So this is really great for gamers out there because you're gonna get the best performance along with that Snapdragon 865. It's gonna perform really, really well and very snappy because even the touch sensing has been doubled from the previous phones. So if you guys have watched this video so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this. Now let's get to the biggest, baddest one of all of these phones, which is the Samsung S20 Ultra. This one was definitely the coolest one of the lot, in my opinion at least, because it allows you to shoot 108 megapixels. You can still do 8K recording. You also get a 5000 milliamp hour battery. The screen is bigger and it just feels like the phone you need if you're going for a Samsung Galaxy series phone. In addition to all of these awesome things, here in Malaysia, this is the only one from the Samsung series that is gonna have 5G connectivity and gonna have probably the fastest speed. Another thing for the S20 Ultra is that the front-facing camera is a 40 megapixel camera, which is 4 times that of the other two. The back-facing camera is going to have a 108 megapixel sensor, which is a lot bigger as well, so the low light performance is going to be perfect. We love low light. So the 108 megapixel camera does look awesome. So if you take a picture and crop in all the way, you do maintain that quality. We'll probably have a proper full in-depth review once we get a review unit. So if you take out the camera app and take a regular picture, it's going to be a 4000 by 3000 resolution picture, which is a 12 megapixel. But if you switch to the 108 megapixel mode, you're going to have a 12,000 by 9000 resolution picture, which is massive. So that's true 108 megapixel. It does something called pixel fusion. It's a very cool concept and the images are quite sharp. I shot this picture indoors, and when you can see the zoom in on it, it does pretty well, even though the lighting was quite terrible. Obviously, you can't expect to get massive amount of details from this because it was so poorly lit, but it does look very good. As far as taking a snap during recording the 8K video, as you guys can see how much detail is maintained on a screen grab from the video. It's insane. Like zooming into the glasses, zooming into the watch, you can actually see it maintains a lot of detail for the image taken. In the gallery, it saves 2 files, once the video and once the picture that you took. So another thing we were really confused about when the leaks came out was the single take mode. This thing is crazy. Like, it's so many things happening at once that it's very exciting to play around with. I didn't get that much of an opportunity, but this is what it looks like. When you take a picture, it sort of like allows you to let it load for a little bit and then you can switch off the picture. I know it sounds weird, just hang in there. Once you do that, it creates multiple versions of what just happened. So it's something like a live focus that the iPhone has, or like a live photo, but it does many things more than that. It creates a GIF for you. It takes an image of what you took an image of. It creates a video out of that for you. It creates a time lapse out of that for you. It does a rough edit in black and white sometimes for you. Zooms in, crops in, creates a portrait picture with live focus for you. This is crazy. That's like too much processor power. Even my brain can't do that much stuff. So that's something that's very exciting. And once we get a unit for ourselves, we're going to definitely play around with that and see what the capabilities of that are. Last but not the least, we have the Galaxy Buds Plus. It looks very similar to the previous ones. However, the design, as you can see compared to my Icon X 2018s, the cover unit thing seems a little bit smaller, but the earbud itself is a little bit smaller and a lot glossier. So it's very glossy across all sides. So if you touch it, you're definitely gonna get fingerprints on there. But the sound quality does seem to be very nice. And also the build quality seems more sturdy than my Icon X 2018. So that's about it, guys. These are the 3 phones from the S20 series. So do let us know in the poll and in the comments below, which of the 3 phones would you be going for? Based on the prices, based on the spec sheet, do you really need the 108 megapixels? Or are you going to go for the 5000 milliamp hour battery to get the Ultra? Or are you okay sticking with the S20 or the S20 Plus? We just got done with the event and we're shooting this now, so we wanted to get this out to you as soon as possible. If you guys like this video, make sure to actually like the video down there and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. And we'll see you guys again in the next video.